honesty, I probably wouldn't be here without Judy, because part of all this healing, an important part about it, is your partner in life. Without the right partner, some of this stuff is just virtually impossible to get through. But at 67, I'm standing here. So, I'd like to start by thanking the veterans of all wars and the first responders, the families who serve too. I emphasize families who serve because that's where I come from, and they serve long after the war is over. And I have to really acknowledge that there was yet another homeland shooting at a Navy yard in Washington, D.C. this past Monday. Another massacre. Reminds us of the dedicated service and bravery of first responders everywhere in America. Seems like this is happening every other week these days, and it is very scary and tragic. We worry about that at Neighbors for Kids. We are not doing enough to help those who need treatment for mental health challenges. And it's all because of stigma. Stigma is ever present, it's been around forever, and it's still with us. I'd also like to add that somewhere in America, a combat veteran is committing suicide right now, as we speak. Somewhere in Oregon, there is a confused and scared child in a toxic home struggling with PTSD, like I did when I was a kid. Somewhere in Lincoln County, there is a PTSD affected spouse or mom. And I know this to be true. Somewhere in Lincoln County, there is a combat veteran, a Vietnam combat veteran, in fact, who served several tours of duty, who sits at home in emotional pain, suffering from survivor's guilt, doesn't even get out of the house. War and trauma affects our culture and society, our way of life. The goal of my presentation today and our discussion, which it should turn into, is to share my own personal experience and the research the last couple of years in particular of my own post-World War II family living and coping with PTSD and moral injury. And my focus is mostly on children in the family. I talk about combat vets a lot, but I move toward the family because I think we need to talk more about that. We'd like to be able to get questions from the audience, and if you want to raise your hand, and you can do it that way, or we have a basket here, you can write a question down, and if there's something really important at the time when I make a point, as I go through the presentation, we'll answer the question right away if it's appropriate to do so. So that Sarah is over there with, I don't know if I have enough books today. I've been worried about that. I struggled with that, but I think I do have enough books over there today. I also have some information on Neighbors for Kids over there, my favorite charity. And so, but anyway, I'm honored to be able to do this today. I'm honored to receive an invitation from Nikki Price, thank you, and all of the support from Heather Hatton. Really appreciate that. And Chinook Winds, and it's really cool to be involved in the celebration of honor, and we've been able to get our kids from Neighbors for Kids involved as well, because they need to learn more about the subject of veterans. I also had the pleasure, and I didn't even know about it until Friday, that as a Vietnam era U.S. Navy veteran, I could register and receive the Oregon Medal of Honorable Service. So it's renewed my pride as a U.S. Navy veteran. And it's been 48 years, that's scary to say, 48 years since I left the Navy in 1965. But it's kind of nice. I feel proud that I've served this country. And those ceremonies happen at 1,000 Flags exhibit at Chinook Winds, and there was another one this afternoon. What was the attendance there? Huge?
Yeah. And then we had this special service, I can't post him on Facebook or anything, because he was here on leave, and he's being deployed in 2 weeks, and he was a major, a combat major in the Army, 34 years old, and just happened upon it. And that's the kind of stuff that's amazing, is that how they feel, and
right.
He was in uniform, and
that's cool.
just kind of, happened.
Thank
It was
you.
neat. It was neat. There was a couple WW2 vets there that got their.
Really? Go to the next. Well, the American Veterans Traveling Tribute Mission was there with the wall. I spent a couple of days there myself with the Neighbors for Kids table, and we had some of our kids there on Thursday. And I think children are very, very interested in this subject, and I could tell when they were there helping out. So you can bet we'll be back next year. The traveling wall really gives us all a chance to remember, to honor, grieve, and heal. And it's not just for military veterans, but we do have first responders that work 24/7 all year long on the home front, and they're honored there. And there's a 9/11 tribute, and also the Global War on Terror. The other part of the program, in all my own research, is the Native American traditions. We are learning so much about the Native American traditions of helping warriors when they come home. We should have started a long time ago with that Native American help. We have retreats that are cropping up all over the country, like in Angel Fire, New Mexico, where families of veterans and first responders go and for a whole week, and it's all about the mindfulness traditions of Native Americans. Native Americans, hundreds of years ago, cared for their veterans in their own tribes. We're still working on trying to figure out how to do that so they can help us. This slide is, Judy used it in her introduction, really reminds me of how long one can keep something bottled up inside, an untold story. The thing that I learned in my research is that these untold stories that we want to bottle up inside stay in there. I had a knot in my stomach for 64 years and a pain. I always thought I was going to die of something. As soon as I started doing the research and writing on my book, it went away, and I haven't had any pain there since. So it chose to go yet. If you would click on that.